So this video is about upgrading an HP dc7800 small form factor PC. It's just shutting down now, and in a moment we're going to open it up, take out the processor, which is a E6550 2.33 GHz, and replace it with an E8400 3 GHz, and they're both dual core. So we'll unplug all these wires to be on the safe side. Open up the case. Here's the heatsink. Must remember to put this back on. Now, I should mention at this point, I haven't done this before, and I think I know what I'm doing, and that's always a very dangerous thing. So, looks like I'm going to need a screwdriver. This seems to be the one. Now, I haven't got one of these wrist things that does anti-static or whatever, so I just make a note to keep touching it occasionally. Let's try and do the screws. One thing I notice is they're not done up very tight, so I'll take account of that when I put it back together again. Another thing to notice is that the fan faces that way. It's all the obvious little things which I find when I'm putting things back together are never very clear. Well, that seemed to do something. Okay, now I'm going to unplug this connector here, which is holding the wire in, and try and remember which way round it goes. So the plug, right down here, is this white one there. Okay, so there's the processor, and over here, that's the new one, in a possibly anti-static bag, possibly not. The first thing I notice about it is it's pretty dirty on top, so I'm going to give this a good clean in a minute, and the same with the bottom of the heatsink, and then apply some thermal compound and put it all back together again. So let's take this one out. So you just push down on this, put it out, let it spring up. Like so. Now before I take it out, I'm going to have a look at which way it's in. So, basically, looks to me like it goes going to go that way, because there's a bit cut out. Now, according to one of the other YouTube videos, there should be an arrow, as there is here, in the corner, and there's an arrow there, which is kind of reassuring. So it's going to go that way, with the writing, I don't know if you can read that, it says Intel, whatever. The writing in the direction I can read it. So I'm going to turn it that way, put it here, and I'm going to take this one. Okay, so the one on the right is the original, the one on the left is the new replacement. And one thing I notice is that the one on the left, the pins are really quite dirty, so I'm going to give it a little bit of a clean. They suggest using the right sort of alcohol, but I haven't got that, so I'm going to use methylated spirits, which is doubtless going to completely ruin it, but I will give it a go. So here's some lefts, which you can get at most hardware shops. Q-tip, as the Americans call them. Cotton bud for us English. And dip it in here. are some marks on it, so I'll try cleaning it off. So the new one, it's going this way round, so the writing, which I can now read, ish, it's in the correct direction. Making sure I earth myself each time, drop it in. Close this. Right, so this is the stuff, the thermal compound. You do need to have this because otherwise it's likely the heat won't transfer. There'll be tiny gaps between the metal and the heat won't go through it properly. I'm going to put some on here first. So, and I'm going to spread it across. Got this Sainsbury's gift card, which is very useful, and is even more useful now. So I'll try and spread it evenly across. That's not so bad. Not so hard this time. Okay, we need a little bit more. This end. A little bit here. Okay. Don't forget to plug the wire from the fan on the heatsink back into the main board. Okay, so we plugged all the power in and nothing went bang. I washed my hands as well, I don't know how toxic that stuff is. Possibly not at all, but you never can be sure. And there is something else, which I knew I'd forget. Right, well, I'll point the camera at the screen, turn it on, and we'll see what happens. Press the button. Good so far. Whoa! Well, I have to say, I didn't really expect that to happen, but it seems to be working. Whatever next? So, one thing I have just done is to check that that fan attached to the processor is actually going round, which it is. dc7800 small form factor, E8400 processor at 3 GHz. There we go.